So we learned how to add, subtract matrices, no biggie. Then we learned how to multiply, but we did what's called scalar multiplication, and we just kind of scale all of the elements either up or we scale it down, okay? But now we're going to do matrix to matrix multiplication, and this is some of the weirdest stuff. It's not hard, it's just weird because multiplication is not usually like this, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to learn how to multiply matrices so that I can do A times B or A times E, whatever, as long as it's possible. Okay, sometimes they're not possible. All right, so right here, matrices A and B can multiply if and only if, and this is weird. Here's the weird part. The number of columns in A equal the number, and I'm just going to abbreviate the word number. That's the symbol for number. The number of rows in B. And it's weird, but there's a nice little trick to this. Oh my gosh, that was weird. My lamp was close, so it was actually, the table was lifting up my lamp. Yeah, it was weird. Okay, so anyways, if a matrix has blank dimensions, if it's got the m by n, okay, so this is what happens. If you have an m by n for your first matrix, an n by p for the second matrix, then when you multiply them, your new matrix will be m by p dimensions. Okay, well, what does that mean? Okay, what you do is you always label the dimensions for A and B. Okay, well, we labeled dimensions yesterday, right? You remember doing it? We labeled them because we needed to see if we could add them because we need the same dimensions. Okay. Now, when you multiply, though, you don't need the same dimensions. You just need a connection, okay? And that connection is right here. I always label the dimensions, and if those guys are not identical, okay? If those guys are not identical, then you cannot do it, okay? But if they are identical, that means my new matrix is going to be what's on the outside, okay? So I always circle the any here and the any here. If I circle those and they're identical, I know my new matrix has to be what's not circled, okay? So I do that every single time. Even like as an adult who has been doing this for years, I always circle them to make sure it can be done. All right? So, for example, all we're going to do for this batch right here is we're going to see what our new dimensions are going to be if it is possible. If these guys are not identical, we cannot multiply them. Okay, it will not work. You will say not possible. Okay, so do you guys think what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and actually label the dimensions for each one of these. Okay, and then we can test and quickly see if it's possible. Okay, what are the dimensions here for A? 4 by 3, good. Okay, now if you say 3 by 4, you're switching them. Okay, you got to switch it the other way. What's this guy? 1 by 5. Keep going. 2 by 4. This is a 3 by 1. Good. Okay. And then finally, 5 by 2. All right. Now this is a whole mishmash of dimensions with these matrices. So what we want to do is we just want to see if we can do it, what are the dimensions of our product? Okay. So A times D would be a 4 by 3. That's A. Okay, and if we multiply to D, that is a 3 by 1. Is that doable? It is, because 3 by 3, okay, what is AD? What is that? What are those dimensions going to be? A 4 by 1. Now, we don't know why it's going to be a 4. We don't know how to make this new one yet, but The first part of the battle is just getting those dimensions right. Okay, so it would be a 4 by 1. Okay, how about A times C? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 4 by 3. Okay, and then C is a 2 by 4. Can we do it? No, we cannot multiply those. Now that's weird, isn't it? I got this group of numbers, this group of numbers. Why can't I multiply them? I can't do it if they're set up in the matrix. Okay, it's just the way that these guys work. All right, we got a 1 by 5 for B, and E is a 5 by 2. What is our product? A 1 by 2. All right, you guys want to do the rest on your own? Just see you get the flow of it. All right, I can't actually freeze my screen, but don't look up until you're done. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down the dimensions if it is a yes. Okay? And then we'll get into actually how to multiply those. All right. Okay, how's that? We good? All right, great. So again, we're just looking at that connection. If we can bridge that connection, okay, we're going to figure out the dimensions here, and then we're going to get this. Now, how do we get these new products? Okay, well, it's kind of cool. Okay, what you do now, if I were to read this, it's probably just going to sound like gibberish. Okay, so I'm not even going to read this. Okay, these are explicit instructions. But let me show you how it's done here. Okay, if this is a 2 by 2, okay, and this is a 2 by 2, all right, what is my product? 2 by 2. Okay, so if I multiply a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2, we're actually going to get a 2 by 2 as an answer. Okay, now here's how it works. Okay, now I also always circle these. Okay, I circle this, make sure that that works, and then I do this. Okay, the first matrix, actually, I circle the first row, and then I circle the first column. Okay, now what this does is it creates a correspondence. Okay, but the A is connected to the E, but the B is not connected to the F anymore. The B is connected to the G. Okay? Now, you don't know why this works, but it'll work when we do cool things later. Okay? So, the multiplication here is kind of strange. What you do is you get your 2 by 2. Okay? And it's not hard math. It's just a weird situation. Okay? What you do is you take the A and you multiply it to the E. Okay? Then you add the B times the G. Now that is your first element. Okay? It's weird. Okay? Now, what do you think I'm going to do for this guy right here? Okay, yes. So, for here, A times F plus B times H. Okay? So this guy is kind of like, you're going to focus on him, okay? And when you want to go to the next column here, you want to go A to the F plus B times H. Now that's if I'm going across, okay? Now, I guess what I'll ask you first is, do you want to go down here? Do you think you would multiply going down, or do you think you'd multiply across? Okay, so there's a mixed bag, okay? So that's why I went across, because I think that's what I would probably do, okay? But if you went down, what do you think we would do to go down?
Use CD.
You'd use CD. You got it. Yep, you got it. Okay, so if we went down, okay, we're going to go C times E plus D times G. Okay? Because we circle these guys going across, okay? And we circle these guys going down. Okay? And the reason is because we have columns in the first, rows in the second. Okay? Alright, that's why this is weird, and that's actually why I'm making a video for this, because it's weird. It's not hard, it's just weird at first. Okay? Okay, so now I'm going to write this in a different color. This is going to be A times F plus B times H. And then the second one would be the second row times the second column. Right. Right, BH, exactly. Okay. Now this will make a lot more sense once we start putting numbers in. Okay, once we get numbers in there, you'll just say, okay, that's how you do it, I'll do it. Okay. And that's really what our goal today is just getting used to this weird matrix multiplication. Okay. All right, so how would this work? How would this work with the actual numbers? Okay, well, what is my product going to be? Is this possible? Okay, good. So this is a 2 by 2, and we're going to get a 2 by 2. Okay. Now I'm going to draw this one kind of large to make a little bit more space for ourselves. Okay. All right. Now remember what you want to do as well. You want to circle the row and then circle the column. Okay. Now that tells me row 1, column 1. That position right there. Okay. This product is going to get me that right there. Okay. So what is negative 4 times 6? Okay, that's negative 24. Okay. Negative 9 times negative 5 is 45. What do I do with those two numbers? I add them, right. Okay, so that's 45. Okay? Now, how is that? Is that okay? You'll get used to this. You're not used to it now because frankly, it's weird. Okay? But you will get used to just doing this. Now, if I go across, okay, if I want to figure out this guy, what do I got to do now? Same thing, but with good. Yes, negative 1 and 4. Okay, so negative 4 times negative 1 is 4, and then we're going to have plus 4 times negative 9 is negative 36. Okay, now I really gobbled up way too much room because I'm going to have to do one more step here. But now, if I want to go to the bottom row, what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle this guy, okay, and I'm going to start with the first column for this location, and then I'll use the second column for this location. Okay? All right, so 3 times 6 is 18, and then plus negative 2 times negative 5 is just positive 10. All right, and then the next location, 3 times negative 1. Am I going too fast? I can slow down if I'm going too fast. Yeah, negative 2 times negative 5. Yep. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next column here to go here. Positive 3 times negative 1 is 3 with a negative. And then negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. Okay. All right, now we're going to move over there. And all we got to do is just add those together. And we're going to get our collection. Now you may be wondering, what is the point of this? There's immense applications to this, okay, that we will definitely get into because it's really fascinating. This is 11. This is negative 32. This guy is 28. And this guy is just negative 11. Okay? Except that's 21. All right. So far, so good? It's weird. All right. Why don't you guys try number 10 on your own? Okay. And remember, Sure. The formula is would you like it with like just the letters? I know, it takes getting used to. It takes getting used to. I totally understand. Who came up with this why? Just try to be patient.
I don't get how someone comes up with any equation.
I know.
I feel like you're multiplying random numbers together.
I know, it feels so random. Okay.
Also, how do we know it's like true?
Yes, what
Like I could just say like anything, like oh that's the new math.
Yeah, I already did this for too long.
Some people get this real quick, and some people, it just, like me, this took me a while to get used to.
I better hope I get used to it by the exam.
It's all right, don't worry.
I'm real worried. Oh, it's 20% my girls.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't know a lot of people that can do this step in their head and then actually get the results. I have not seen that. Like, most people will need to write this out, okay, and then they figure out. Okay, we'll try again. This is an introduction. This is new. Like I said, it's just new. Be patient with yourself. I'm not giving you a quiz at the end of the hour or anything. No, I'm just not. Just don't. No, that's not going to help you. Okay, just try to relax. You'll get there. You'll get there. You always do. Okay, things have switched. All right, now I no longer have a 2 by 2. Okay, but I'm still going to multiply two things, add them to the next two things multiplied, add them to the next two multiples. Okay? All right. Now, is this possible, first of all? This is a 2 by 3, and this is a 3 by 1, right? So what is my answer? It's a yes, and it's going to be a 2 by 1. Okay? All right, a 2 by 1. So, here's what we do. Okay, we know that we're going to have 2 rows and 1 column. So what it would look like is this. My answer should look like 2 numbers like that. That's a 2 by 1. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. That's my answer. Okay, but I don't know what the x and the y are. Okay, so I'm just saying that's what it's going to look like. Now, how is it when I multiply these two things, am I going to get a 2 by 1? Okay, so watch what happens. Okay, I'm going to circle the first row. I will always circle the second, or the column of the second matrix. Okay. Now, does anybody want to speculate what we're going to do here? The same thing, but do more adding. Yep. So we've got a 2 by 1. Okay. What we've got here is we're going to add one extra thing. We've got -7 times -6 is 42. Then we're going to add the next product going across here and down here. So that's 2 times 4. That's 8. Plus -11 times -3. Now that's going to be my top number. Okay? Okay? Yeah, because you run out of things to do. Yeah, exactly. So there's my first number. You guys are going to see how we get the second number? Okay, same thing. We're going to circle the second row, and then we're just going to go across down. Okay? So 3 times -6, -18, plus Plus what? Yes, negative 20. Plus 6. There you go. All right. So we're getting there, okay? Just give yourself some breathing room, okay? You'll get it. I promise you. You'll get 83. Okay, it's not hard. Again, it's just weird. That's the theme of the day today, is just weirdness. Okay, what is this? This is negative 38. What's negative 32? Okay, great. There's my 2 by 1. All right. Okay, so again, you've got to have these columns and rows match, because do you guys see what we're doing here? They have to match in order to go across and go down. Okay. Okay, now what about this one? This is a 1 by 2, and this is a 2 by 4. Okay, what's my result? A 1 by 4. There we go. Okay, so 1 by 4 is going to look like this. You got one row with 4 items. So it'll look like that. You will have a W, X, Y, and a Z. Okay, that's a 1 by 4. Okay, now this is different now. Now we're going to have just one row and no columns. Okay, well, watch how this plays out. Okay, let's circle this guy going across, and then we're going to circle these guys going down. Do you guys see how we're going to get a 1 by 4 now? Good, good. Okay. All right, so what is the first one? Yep, 2 times 3. And then the second one is negative 8 times negative 2. Yep, so that's plus 16. All right, now that's my first number. I'm going to switch my colors here, so I don't want it to bleed together. What's the next one? What makes sense? 2 times 10. Yes, 2 times 10. In fact, now I'm going to just go put 20. Okay, 20 plus 56, yes. Okay, I'm going to switch colors again. 2 times negative 4, negative 8 plus, yep, negative 40. I'm going to switch colors. Last one. Negative 6 plus 48. All right, so there is my 1 by 4. My final answer is going to be 22, 76, negative 48, and positive 42. No.
I wish because we still have to make the numbers not run together with the
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yep, you can't actually put commas in there. Okay, so now we did 1 through 12 here. Okay, so what I want to do is let's just do one more though. Okay, one more, and then I think that we're going to be in the process of just practicing this. There's really nothing else I could teach you. Okay. Let's do number. I'm trying to find the one that is weird. Any weirdness? Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? Let's do 13 and 14 actually. So, like, it's not going to. Because 14's weird. 14's weird. Okay. You got 2 by 2, and this is a 2 by 3. Is it possible? Yes. Okay. So you get a 2 by 3. Okay. So try to visualize what a 2 by 3 looks like. It would be A, B, C, D, E, F. That is a 2 by 3. So my answer should look like this. Okay. We'll go across, and we're going to go down. Okay. Now, if I labeled this process, I think it would just get real messy for you. Okay. So, does everybody see how what would happen is I would take these guys, multiply this here, add them, and then get A. Then this guy, this column B. This guy, this column C. Then I'm going to go to the second row here. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. So, can we skip this one? Okay. All right. Yeah, let's skip it, because honestly, I just want you to understand that as we go across, I just want you to label the dimensions and see if you can understand the process. Okay. Now here's 14 is actually the one I want to target. because of the strangeness of it. Okay? And this is basically as strange as they get with something already strange. This is a 3 by 1. And what is this? A 1 by 3. What are you going to get? A 3 by 3. Okay. How did that work? Yeah. That's going to give us a big matrix. Okay? So, circle across, circle down. Okay? What's unique about this situation? Yes, there's nothing to add. There's only one element in each column and row, so therefore that's just negative 14. Okay, what's the next number? Oh, well, we're going across?
It would be 14 times 9.
Yeah, what is that? 126. Next one here, what's that? That's 70. Okay, next column. I'm sorry, next row. 2. Next one? Negative 18. Next one? Negative 10. So you see how there's nothing to add. And so this weird... But what would this give you? What is 16 going to give you?
2 by 2.
Yeah, close. It was a good guess. It's a good guess. Believe it or not, if these guys would have been switched, it would have given you a 2 by 2. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, do you see it? Cole, you see it? Okay, because this is a 1 by 2, and that's a 2 by 1. Okay. Now, would you guys write this last thing? Okay. This is very important. Okay, when you multiply two numbers, I said numbers, I meant matrices. When you multiply two matrices, okay? All right, now look, I'm glad you brought this up, Cole, because this would give us a 1 by 1, right? What if I switch the order? What if I put this 16 negative 1 over here and this guy over there? It would be a 2 by 2. So, no, what? A 2 by 2. Okay? So look, here's what's weird about matrix multiplication. It is not commutative. In the real world, we're used to 2 times 3 equals 3 times 2. 1 times 4 equals 4 times 1. That's not how matrices work. They are not commutative, okay? So that is kind of a big deal, all right? Which means we will not be able to ever divide matrices. You cannot divide them because of this issue, okay? So, anyways, why don't you guys grab a sheet of paper that you've got in front of you. I think you grabbed it off the table, yes? Okay. You guys look, I got a little thing that connects to each other. If you guys would start with a particular number, it doesn't matter. I said number, I meant letter. Man, I'm just losing my confidence. Now I'm just making mistakes. Yeah, you can have partners. Yeah, you guys can work together. You don't have to, though. If you want to go solo, fine. If you're a narcissist. All right. That's it.